Congratulations on passing Section 2 and welcome to Section 3 of the Avoiding Plagiarism workshop, Avoiding Plagiarism During the Research Process. As a reminder, you need to score 80% or higher on this section in order to advance to the next one. You have 2 attempts to score 80% or higher. Now that we have identified the different types of plagiarism in Section 2, let's take a look at ways to prevent it from happening. This can begin as soon as you start the research process. I have 2 strong suggestions for ways to avoid plagiarism. Start your assignment early and use a note-taking strategy during the research process. If you do both of these, you will be setting yourself up for success. Before we delve into note-taking strategies, let's examine a few ways that students may accidentally plagiarize. First, students sometimes just run out of time or have poor time management skills. You want to allow yourself enough time to perform the research, write a rough draft, and revise at least once. I know, that sounds like a lot of work, but successful research and writing take time, so get started early. Another reason students may accidentally plagiarize is a desire to get a good grade or a fear of failing. They often think that the original source says it so beautifully that they're hesitant to summarize or paraphrase. If you start early, you'll allow yourself the opportunity to make your own writing shine. Next, there is sometimes confusion about what constitutes plagiarism or what is detailed in the academic honesty policy. Remember, it's just like if you get pulled over for making an illegal turn. Not knowing the law will not get you out of a pricey ticket, and not understanding the academic honesty policy won't get you out of an awkward conversation with your instructor. Finally, the most common cause of plagiarism that is accidental is simply not understanding how in-text citation works. Fortunately, Fullerton College has plenty of resources to help you with your citations, so be sure to use the Writing Center or ask a librarian. The solution to accidental plagiarism? Start early. Now let's take a look at a couple of strategies, the note card system and the Cornell note-taking method. First of all, there are many different ways for note-taking during the research process. So find one that works for you and your learning style. We only have time to briefly examine a couple, but feel free to put your Google skills to work and find the one that works best for you. Again, what's our solution to accidental plagiarism? Start early. Let's take a look at the note card system. The goal of any research note-taking system is to provide a means for you to locate the source should you need it again and to prepare you for the works cited or reference page. On the front of a note card, write down the title of the source, the bibliographic information for the source, and where you found the source. If you have multiple sources or have multiple cards to different information from the same source, you might want to use a system like Source A or Source 1. Let's take a look at what information we would use from the book, The College Fear Factor: How Students and Professors Misunderstand One Another. We have the title at the top of the card as well as the source system. In the middle, we have the author's name and the publication information for the book. At the bottom, we have where we found the book. In this case, it's a physical book at the FC library, so we would include the call number. Now let's flip the card. Here is where the magic happens. Notice in this example that I've used a paraphrase of the information from page 3 and a direct quote from page 4. Make sure that you clearly delineate whether the information is word for word by placing it in quotation marks. At this stage, if you just want to include all quoted material, it's fine. You'll be learning more about summary and paraphrase in the next section. Complete as many cards as you need for your research assignment and use them when you begin the writing process. How do we avoid plagiarism? Start early. Another effective way to avoid plagiarism during the research process is to use the Cornell method of note-taking. In this note-taking system, you divide a piece of paper into 4 sections: source information, the recall column, the note-taking column, and the summary. Let's see how that looks with a source. For the source information section, make sure that you include all of the components necessary to complete your citation, as well as where you found the source, should you need to locate it again. In the recall section, use simple terms to organize information according to topic. In the note-taking column, bring in summary, paraphrase, or direct quote. Make sure to include the page number. Finally, the summary section at the bottom can be used as a place marker for where you might use the information in your paper. Remember, there are many other methods of note-taking out there. Just be sure to include all of the information that you will need for the works cited or reference page, as well as page numbers for where you found the information. Staying organized during the research process can prepare you to write a more focused essay. Remember, there are 2 key solutions to avoiding plagiarism during the research process: start early and take notes.